A real political earthquake shook Caracas. The interim president of Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, appointed 12 generals to lead key national structures, impacting the core of military power. The decision set off a firestorm behind the scenes and provoked Diosdado's fury. Cabello, the Minister of the Interior and Chavismo's second in command, has always controlled the armed forces. Now, Cabello sees his influence fading as a move threatens to reshape the regime's internal balance.
The weapons are in the possession of the Bolivarian National Armed Forces and the state security forces.
Accustomed to controlling the barracks as part of his authority, Cabello now realizes his power over the country is slipping away. Meanwhile, Delcy Rodriguez is getting closer and closer to the guidelines coming from Washington. The alignment with Donald Trump puts the interim president in a risky position, while at the same time trying to weaken Cabello. She needs to avoid becoming a target of the world's greatest military power. On this geopolitical chessboard, every move can be fatal, and Venezuela becomes the stage for a dispute that transcends borders. Welcome to life in the barracks.
Our armed forces, the people of Yaracuy, are standing firm, with Bolivar's flag in the streets, defending Bolivar's homeland, our president, and loyal to the armed forces and the Bolivarian homeland.
The changes promoted by Delcy Rodriguez in the military commands of Venezuela did not occur in a political vacuum. The decision to appoint new generals came precisely on the eve of the National Assembly to discuss deep reforms in the oil sector, which could dismantle the state monopoly and make room for the return of international companies. This coincidence suggests a coordinated strategy, which is to ensure solid military support. The Assembly is getting ready to face internal opposition to the interim government's economic reforms. Without the same control over the armed forces and increasingly isolated, Diosdado Cabello resorts to the colectivos, which are armed militias that operate outside the law, as a way to try to maintain influence and ensure protection.
Following instructions from the National Secretariat of the Socialist Bloc, Alberto Chino Tarria has been acting from the corners of the homeland.
The reward of $25 million offered for his capture fuels rumors that mercenaries are already hunting him in search of the fortune, making his position even more vulnerable. Make them doubt. Cabello lives under constant pressure, marked by the fear of internal betrayals and external persecution. Behind-the-scenes information suggests a situation similar to Nicolas Maduro's final days in power. Cabello can no longer maintain a normal routine, avoiding restaurant meals and showing signs of physical and psychological exhaustion. To try to escape possible offensives, Cabello has been spending the nights in different places, changing his hiding spot every day. This erratic routine reveals the level of insecurity that dominates the second most powerful man in Chavismo, now cornered by million-dollar rewards and the growing loss of influence within the Venezuelan structure itself. Making things worse, Donald Trump said he plans to include Maria Corina Machado in the Venezuelan administration, a gesture symbolizing the opposition's advance and Chavismo's gradual decline. The possibility of seeing a figure openly opposed to the regime gaining political ground increases Maduro's fury as he sees the movement as part of a process to eradicate Chavismo. On this chessboard, every move accelerates his weakening influence and puts Venezuela in a tense situation that could reshape its political future. Delcy Rodriguez had already given clear signs of his intention to reshape the core of power by putting a former intelligence chief in charge of the presidential guard and counterintelligence. The official document, signed by Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez, reinforces the idea that the military high command is seeking to protect itself in the face of possible new offensives from the United States. Institutional shielding, therefore, is not just a precautionary measure, but also a political message. The interim government is willing to align its security structures with the pressures coming from Washington. General Domingo Hernandez Lariz's public support for Venezuela's new military leaders boosts the legitimacy of their appointments. It suggests the White House may have approved the process. By praising the officers with terms like soldier of temperance and exemplary conduct, Hernandez Lariz not only exalted their qualities, but he also signaled that the new generation of military leaders will be fundamental to sustaining the political and economic transition. The mention of the commander of Táchira as the guardian of the sacred flame of the liberators reveals the symbolic weight of these changes, especially in strategic regions on the border with Colombia. Venezuelan generals feel apprehensive amid American pressure. The confirmation that the CIA continues to operate clandestinely within the country, collecting strategic information about the regime, has intensified fears that high-ranking officers could become direct targets of the United States military forces. This insecurity erodes internal trust and reveals weaknesses in power, leading to desperation, disputes, and mistrust within the military. Diosdado Cabello is increasingly isolated and targeted. The only question is how long his influence and Chavismo will persist in Venezuela. Is Donald Trump's order to capture Diosdado Cabello near, or will the United States let him go free after causing so much harm to the Venezuelan people? Leave your opinion here in the comments and join the debate. At Life in the Barracks, you stay updated on all military news. Leave your like, subscribe, and watch one of the videos appearing on your screen. Forward, soldiers. Until next time.